Everything's creepy when you whisper it.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. Excuse me.
Now, it may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
This is your victory. I know you didn't do this just to win an election. I know you didn't do it for me. You did it because you understand the enormity of the task that lies ahead.
You're not going to believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. The guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
Till I'm in disguise.
Ranked in the top 10 spookiest spooksters of podcasts. It's the Middle of the Road podcast with TJ and Coach Casey.
Oh, happy Halloween, or a day late.
It's okay.
We would have been here, but TJ had to go trick-or-treating yesterday. I'm not sure what his plans were, but he didn't want to do a show yesterday. I understand. It's a big holiday for some. Such a big holiday. We have 2 sponsors tonight.
Whoa.
So we're going to start off with a little read that they sent over for us for our first sponsor of the night, which is Moms of OnlyFans.
Have you or anyone you know been affected from a mother having an OnlyFans page?
Has your mother shown her butthole on the internet for money?
Do you have a new stepdad or 2 due to OnlyFans?
If so, you may be eligible for financial compensation.
We all know times were tough in 2020, but if your mom was an OnlyFans model, we're here to help you. All you have to do is go to our website, www.momofonlyfans.com, just like it sounds, and upload any known pictures of your mom to our website, and we will help you with financial compensation.
Once again, if you or anyone you know had a mom that was on OnlyFans, please go to our website and upload any of her photos for a chance to be included in our lawsuit.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I think so.
I enjoy. That'll be a good sponsor. I don't know. I think we get 2% of anything they make. And I'm not sure. It isn't clear if they're going to legally help you or if they're going to, just you. I'm not sure.
Oh, the other part I forgot on here, you need to use our promo code whenever you get on the website. It's promo code Middle of the Road Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that'll get you an additional 10% off, and then that's how we get our kickback. So make sure you do the promo code,
Yep.
Or we'll get a link on our website, which I'm still building. And
You can put it on our Facebook.
I'll put it on our link tree.
Yeah. Oh, that'd
And then
be
you
good.
can
Yeah.
go straight to the site there, and then go on there.
So if you go to momsofOnlyFans.com on our face and put the link, the promo code Middle of the Road Podcast, you'll get the discount.
So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our second sponsor of the night is Sandler Seating, one of North America's leading steel chair providers since 1941. And I don't know, I would say it's ironic, but it's more iconic.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll get to the intros in a minute, but Bob Knight died today. Just before the show, you text me that, and then I walked inside and Amy told me,
Yep.
and then Skin Man walked in and threw a chair at me,
He did.
and I said something to him, and he didn't even know that Bob Knight died.
He just did it.
Like he just felt it. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's what I love about him. We're gonna do a whole show, just asking man,
Who
or
this
who
person
he's
is.
heard of, or what he knows about.
We should just put on the TV back here. And
Yeah,
just
he'll
go, Who's that?
won't have a clue, and then we'll
Yeah.
tell him, and then he'll still be like, "Oh yeah, that's that one basketball player." Like, no, that's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not Brittany Griner? I'm
That's
pretty
not-
sure that was Brittany Griner.
That's not Joe Biden.
Yeah. So that's sad news. It made me think of a couple coaches I had, and even like a dad, my neighbor's dad, that one threw a chair at me, but two was like that hard ass.
He threw a chair at you?
He like flipped a chair at me one time.
Okay.
Long story, but like I threw a basketball across at like a barbecue thing and knocked a plate off a little girl, and then she was crying, so he flipped a chair and then was trying to chase me. But he was old and I was young, I outran him.
Yeah.
But but he was always just trying to teach you a life lesson. Like he'd make you sweep his garage anytime we did anything in there, and then teach you how. Like the hard aspect, you're done. You're like, and that's how I learned it in the Navy, son.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like an Army, Navy, whatever type guy. Did you ever have anybody like that, Skin Man? Any coach or any hard ass in your life that was trying to teach you a lesson?
Yeah, but they didn't do a good job of it.
Okay. So not somebody you're fond of. Because there's a lot of people, like, there's people that probably hated him. I mean, that like he mentally and, you know, fucked up and physically abused.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that love that man for, despite, you know, just like the one old K-State coach that was psycho that coaches at South Carolina or whatever.
Is he
now.
still the coach?
I think so, or he was. I don't know where he's at now.
I was not a fan of Jane Fonda.
Okay.
Like her exercise programs, or
Like she was mean to you?
Just her as a person,
Okay, so she was your coach night?
because she screwed everything up in the '60s.
for Vietnam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you ever have a coach night?
Coach wise, no, but when I was a kid, my dad would make me work, and then when I would fuck it up, he would tell me what I did wrong just to redo it until I figured out.
So
what
he
I
was
did
your
wrong.
coach night?
Yeah. He'd
Never
be
threw a
like,
chair at you though?
uh,
Not that you can remember.
I don't know, but like one of its main things would be like walk the fence in the pasture, the electric fence, and cut all the weeds and shit away. And then the cows would get out, and I'd be like, oh, where'd they get out? I don't know. Go figure it out.
You have to go walk.
And I
the
go do it
dog.
again, and then they get out again. And he'd be like, go back out and rewalk the fence. I'm like, where at? Go out there and figure it out. Fuck. I never
But he
would.
probably already knew.
He knew, but just wouldn't tell me.
Did you ever figure it out?
Eventually.
Because it would be
yeah.
smarter of him eventually too than to stop having to go get the cows.
But
But sometimes you're so entrenched in teaching a lesson.
it's just life lessons, yeah. Or like,
Kid's
you know,
been doing it for 22 years, but
Like,
fuck it,
like, or what was one of the punishments? We had like what we called the junkyard in the pasture. It was just like some old cars and shit. Me and cousin Derek bashed all the windows out of them.
Okay.
And my punishment was to move
When you tell stories like that, say my cousin Derek, because like they don't know.
my cousin Derek.
All right.
His first name isn't cousin. His last
I was
name
gonna
is
say that
yeah.
could you know.
My cousin Derek.
All right.
It was to move a bunch of rocks from somewhere by our house to like a creek draw that was washing out.
Okay.
And I had two options to use for transportation. One was a wheelbarrow with probably a flat tire, and the other one was a little Red Ryder wagon,
Okay.
and it was probably a quarter mile each
And
way.
you use
from
the red
house.
wagon, of course.
I think so, yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, because I think the wagon or the wheelbarrow, like I said, had a flat tire.
Should have set the wheelbarrow in the wagon, loaded it up, and then
could've.
carried that. But that'd been a lot more weight. But you could have got a lot more.
That was one of many lessons that were taught.
Yes, four squeaky wheels rather than just one.
You know?
Yeah, it was a good little red wagon.
Well,
Red Ryder?
red wagon.
Red
It's a red wagon.
Red
Red wagon?
What were those called?
Little radio flyer or a.
Radio flyer.
They also.
Raggy.
Yeah,
Red wagon. Red wagon.
radio flyer.
This is the middle of the road. He gave you that earlier. I'm Coach Casey.
Mhm.
Casey.
There you go.
This is TJ. Behind me, that's Skin Man. He has a whole intro. We don't have one. He gives us one.
No,
What's up, party people?
What have you been up to, buddy?
is that for Skin Man?
Yeah, sorry, Skin Man. It always starts with Skin Man, then you. Behind
And
me,
me.
what have you been up to, Skin Man?
Oh, doing some work.
Where were you last week?
Where was I?
You weren't here.
Indeed. My youngest daughter was singing in. She wasn't singing in the choir because she's not in choir,
Okay.
but she did sing a solo. It was pretty good.
What? How old is she? I mean, like, not, you don't have to give age. Is she like a junior now?
Yeah, she's junior.
In high school.
Yes.
Okay, she's your youngest. The other one just graduated. Okay. So you weren't here for that. I don't remember what I thought you were doing. We guessed it a little bit, but I can't remember. What have you been up to this week? I know what you told me before the show. Anything?
I went to Kansas City.
How'd your anniversary go?
We stopped in Lawrence.
You did it all for the nookie?
We stopped in Lawrence.
I've been
On the
waiting
way
for
up
a year
there.
and a half to use that line.
Yes. We stopped in Lawrence on the way up there during the KU game, and it was raining and everything there on that big rain delay. And we stopped and watched the rest of the game in a bar,
Okay.
like downtown Lawrence.
I texted you the day of because I knew you were going that way. I'm like, why aren't you at game day? And you said your wife was still in bed.
Yes, our original plan. Our original plan was for us to leave early enough where we could maybe go to game day. The game day starts at like 9 or something like
Uh-huh.
that. We left at 11 o'clock.
Okay, so it was over and the game was started. when you
Yeah,
left.
we left at probably like 11:05 is when we left, which the game has already started. So we listened to it on the way up there, and then they had like an hour or some long.
And this was KU Oklahoma when KU
Yes.
beat Oklahoma this week.
Yep.
All right.
So
Yeah,
Football.
Mass Street must have been a carnival.
well, it wasn't because it was super cold and it was raining still when we got there. So the first place we went to is Jefferson's, which is my favorite place. It's pretty small, and
Are they on the east side?
Jefferson's is on Mass Street. I don't get that. What's
Yeah.
he saying? East side? It's actually on the west side of.
Oh, so they weren't
Mass
moving on
Street.
up.
No, they weren't moving on up to the east side. No. So
Well,
they
worst joke tonight. I mean, that's
Yeah,
okay. It's
so
a dad joke.
we went down the street and went to another place and sat and watched the rest of
Okay.
the game. So it was cool to watch it with it, but there actually was OU people in there because the people left the game and didn't come back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And right there at the end where OU got back up, these OU fans were like, yeah,
Here we
yeah,
come.
Yeah.
And then nope.
Yeah.
Well, that was
And
probably
we're
far.
like, get the fuck out of our bar.
That was by far that backup Bean's best game as a a Jayhawk. He made some mistakes.
I
But
just want, I'll just say good job to him. I don't want to say anything bad about him. but-
Well, I mean, he won a game against a
He
big.
won,
a
he
team
won
that
it, and
just
he
beat
also
Texas,
almost lost
you know?
it for us.
Yeah,
and
but-
we could have beat Texas too. Probably if we had our main guy.
But every week he's not. He doesn't even know if he's going to be the guy because your other guy keeps coming and
he
going.
just needs a red shirt or something. I'm sick of
I
that.
think your season's. I don't know if it's over because we proved
We already
you
got
can
a
win
bowl.
with him.
Yeah,
but-
I mean we're already bowl eligible.
and can't win a. Can't really. 2 losses can't get a national title at this point unless
We could probably.
if they were
if
doing the
they
12, but they're not doing the 12. I
They have a
think till
chance
next
to
year.
compete for the Big 12 title.
Yeah, well, that's
We'll
worth
see.
it. All right, yesterday was Halloween.
It was
Um,
spooky.
We talked about top 5 scariest movies. We don't do a lot of top 5 anymore. I miss my list and I miss news. So I made you do it, so I'll do mine. Mine are old school ones, most of them.
Well, you know me.
Yeah, mine are like, and really at this point, I would say like Friday the 13th, which is my number 5, doesn't
Okay.
really scare me at all. Like go back and watch them, but then just thinking about because he was just a massive dude, but he was the one probably of all of them back then. Of course, I didn't like Michael Myers. I never watched.
Like,
any of
what's
them.
his problem?
Yeah, it just haunted is
But I mean, like, why is he gonna kill everybody else?
it's just the teens
I
because
mean,
they
like
picked on him.
teenagers
And
having sex. Like, what's his
they
issue?
drowned him.
You think
you
it's
know?
because he's a closet gay?
Maybe. I don't know.
I bet
don't-
that's
they-
what it
you would
is.
think he would do some of that. They never showed him doing no stuff with them.
No, but he's mad at them because
So that's
he's
where his
gay,
anger
so
takes
he's,
out?
Yeah, so he's like, fuck it. Like, he's like, if I catch you having sex, you're dead. If you show your boobies, you're dead too. And then I'm gonna.
Maybe he's just a man of the Lord, and it's
Anyone-
because they're out of matrimony.
And he wants to make sex to his sister, so he's mad at her most of the
So
time.
it's either gay or he's super religious.
It's one of those two.
You have any thoughts on it, Skin Man? What Jason's problem is?
He had a head full of bees.
Okay.
That'd
and
make
he
you angry.
He didn't understand what language they were speaking, and he couldn't communicate.
Oh man, that head full of bees. That's
Do
awful.
you think
Something.
maybe he has a lot of teeth like an alligator, and that's why he's so ornery?
He's so
He's got
ornery, yeah.
all those
Mama-
teeth and
Mama
no,
always said-
no toothbrush.
That's 2 great pulls. That's why you're joining us tonight because we have all the good jokes.
Okay.
My number 4 is House of a Thousand Corpse, and main reason because it's something that could be it could be real.
That could be real. Those
You
people
know.
are fucking creepy.
Yeah, and it's goes right along with my number 3 movie, Wrong Turn.
Can I
because-
tell you about House of
Which
Thousand
was
Corpses
also
real
a
quick?
comedy.
Yeah, but again, it's just because of the fact that they're chances to be real, and like the first
Yeah.
time I watch them, when you watch them now,
Yeah.
they're
I mean, it's still
Wrong
unpleasant.
Turn one's not. It's
No.
really-
I mean, what's her name? Super hot in that movie, Eliza Dushka. When House of a Thousand Corpses came out, my friend Justin and I went and watched it at where the old palace is.
Uh-huh.
It's a church now.
Yeah.
And anybody who knows Wichita, Justin and I were the only white people in that whole movie theater.
Really?
Yes, we were the only ones in there. It was
We
a
used to
late
go there all
night
the
show.
time. Yeah.
It was a late night show. It was just me and him.
So a lot of Asians,
No, these were
Mexicans.
black people.
Oh,
So,
okay. So,
there was a little bit of talking and stuff going on
Yeah.
during the movie. I don't know.
and you guys weren't going to play a pickup game because they
No.
were more athletic than you.
No, but that scene where Walton Goggins, where that guy's got the gun to his head, and it's like forever, before he finally shoots him. Some black guy in the movie stood up. And he was like, "Oh fuck!" or something. I mean, I won't ever forget it. It was hilarious. But everybody in the theater was dying laughing. And that was pretty. There was a lot of fucked up stuff in that movie.
We went there once and got jumped by a bunch of I don't remember what their gang was. It was a gang, but they were Asians, I believe.
Okay, so you're just like 6-on-1, and you were.
There was like 15 of them and 2 of us.
That's about right.
3, but my buddy Josh, if you're listening, thanks Josh, ran off to go get the car to help, which he ended up giving us
So
a
you run
getaway.
some of them over.
No, but he got us a getaway car.
Okay.
But my buddy was on some illegal drugs. I wasn't on this.
Okay.
I was sober. I was
Yeah.
a driver kind of at the point. I was a younger,
Okay.
but he was. We went and seen Mortal Kombat.
So they were fucking ready to.
But
Karate
so was
fight.
he. So he's so messed up. He's like
He did
jumping in
some
the
karate
aisle,
fight?
but he's jumping the aisles and like, "Hong John!" Like,
Okay.
so that's where they thought that he was doing that to them, and he really was just plastered and was just being an idiot. We didn't even notice.
They were there.
As
yeah.
far as we knew, nobody else was in the theater, And so we go to leave, and we're at the front doors, and some guys run up behind us, and then all of a sudden, like a group obviously had left or they called some guys.
Mhm.
Were coming. So we got there's the double doors that you go in to get. You go through one set and then
Yeah.
the little aisle. We got trapped in there for a second with like just me and him surrounded, getting hit by him. But honestly, neither one of us came out hurt. Like my face had no marks, but my back and stuff was real beat up because,
like your lower back,
and shoulders. They were just
lower down.
because the guys behind me would hit me. The guys in front of me couldn't because I'm just. At some point, I couldn't. My hands hurt so bad from hitting them that I would just open palm hitting them away, dude. Like
Yeah.
I was trying to do no shots, and then like security pulled up and they kind of started scrambling, and then we bolted the car and took off. And my buddy Josh, he's an MMA fighter now. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
But
That reminds me of my Asian story.
your
When
uncle.
I was probably like, no, not my Uncle Joe. But when I was in high school, me and my cousin Derek were cruising down somewhere in West Wichita. And there was some construction going on. And I picked up a big, I reached out, he had an S10 Blazer. It was real nice. I reached out his S10 Blazer and I picked up like a cone and we're driving with it. And I let it go and it goes flying back. And there's some Asians behind us and it hit his car. Well, actually, before that, I said something.
Well, I have no problem with them, by the way.
No.
This was just this group of guys happened to be a gang, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this guy was in a gang, but that
It was bad timing on our part. You didn't let me finish. I support everybody equally.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Anyways, the dude from fucking Bloodsport, the big son of a bitch that fights.
Kung Lao.
Yeah.
Or what, yeah.
Anyways,
Lee Kung,
it was him.
Okay.
So he comes running up to the fucking car, and I see him like in the side mirror, and I'm like, buzz my window up. He comes up, hits the fucking.
Don't break it though.
He doesn't break it.
He
no.
was the early guy.
Yeah. He's like, get the fuck out. I'm like, fuck you. Like he was, a 10, and I was nowhere near that, and I was drunk, and he's like, get the fuck out. I was like, no, I'm not fucking getting out. So he, this dude was so fucking mad. He takes and he kicks Derek's side mirror fucking smooth off
I
his
remember
car.
you telling me this.
So he kicks
I
Derek's.
didn't know it was a
Oh, fucking
Luke cow.
dude!
Kung.
This motherfucker was huge.
Well, you just remember it that way.
Yeah.
It could have been.
So he
4
kicks the
foot
fucking
7.
mirror smooth off. Derek's like, oh fuck! So he takes off. And he's like, we gotta lose him. And I'm like, okay.
Did they chase you?
Yes. So Derek's like, I know how I'm gonna lose him. He goes, I'm gonna pull into this parking lot, and he goes, it has like a little bit of a drop off. He's like, and we're gonna go through because he's in his Blazer and they're like in a BMW. He gets there and the fucking drop off is like from it's like 3 foot. He's like, fuck, what do I do? Well, here comes that fucking Asian again. Comes up, boom, punches my.
You guys have time to get out again? You didn't back over him? Or?
Derek pulled in and stopped, and this dude pulled in right behind us. So we were like blocked in. So this dude comes up.
And it's one dude?
It's one guy.
And there's 2 of you.
Yeah, but we were pussies. So, and plus I was drunk and Derek was scared. So this dude's so fucking mad. He goes over to the front of the car and he picks up this fucking big ass rock. And he's like gonna smash it through our windshield because he's so pissed off. So Derek buzzes down his window And he goes, "What's your fucking problem?" And that dude reaches in and just tags Derek.
Derek
in the
got
fucking-
beat up out of
yeah,
you.
yes. He tags Derek. Derek's fucking nose just explodes, fucking blood everywhere. And then he's like, "Get the fuck out." Derek's like, "Fuck you," as he's holding his nose. Then the dude kicks Derek's other mirror off his car. And Derek ends up just going straight off this cliff and fucking just nosedives his blazer down. And then we end up getting out of there because they couldn't get through there. But Derek was like, "Oh, fuck my nose." I'm like, "Why'd you roll your window down?"
We'll go back a couple shows ago. This is why I can beat you up still.
I was also probably 16 years old.
But at 16, I would have got out and fought that dude.
I know. Like I said, he was at a 10 and I wasn't nowhere near there, and I was
That's
not
hard.
ready
I've
for
been
that.
in those. I got pulled over. I pulled over on the side of the road one time to a guy I thought I was going to fight on the way home from work.
Yeah.
And this was 10 years ago, or I mean, like a year after I started my job. And the guy got to get out. And I see how big this motherfucker was and how mad he was, because I was going to get up and be like, "What's your problem?" And I knew if I opened the door, we were going. It wasn't even, I don't even know if I could run with him. It was more like I wasn't ready to. So I just put it in drive and he's fucking standing there flipping me off. I'm like, "No, I don't think I want to do that." He really wanted to fight.
Yeah,
I wanted to have a civil conversation.
I was not ready for it. Plus, I was trash, and he was fucking huge. He's the biggest.
See, trashed, I would have been dumb and definitely would have, because I would have already been out the window the first
But
time he punched
I also
it.
didn't have
No, I know.
very many fights growing
I get
up.
it.
So,
I get it.
and I wasn't
I
ready
grew up
for
way
it.
different.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
grew up different.
I have
But
an older
anyways,
brother that I fought. I mean, yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would have won, but
Yeah.
I would have got out and found out, especially after the first kick in the mirror.
Oh, dude.
Game was on.
I
I'm
had-
finding something in that car. If I don't think I can take him, me and something are taking him.
It was the best. I wish I could have like a, camera footage of that. Just-
I'd kill to, man. That'd be better than the thump, thump, thump
Yeah.
guy that's all over the place.
it did look like that. He did hit it, and it just wouldn't break. So-
All right. So my number 3 was Wrong Turn. And I don't even know why, man. I don't remember when that came out. I was old enough to not.
Wrong turn, probably after we were out of school.
Yeah, 2001, 2,
Probably
3, something like
yeah.
that. My number 2 is an older one. It is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Watched that recently. That was a pretty good movie.
I like it, but those clowns
They were-
when they smile, their freaking teeth are so.
campy.
What's that?
That movie takes forever.
Oh, it
So
does.
campy.
It is.
They
but,
call it suspense, but it's a lie.
but just watching them walk around, man, I used to like. Oh man, I don't know.
It's like how a water balloon would walk if it.
Yeah,
could
because they're
walk.
like.
Yeah. And they had the little things. They moved so slow, but I like that was the thing. Like, man, fight back, And everybody.
Yeah.
Tubby, 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 tubby.
All right,
Tubby.
my number 1 was because I got to watch it when I was like 6 or 7, and I shouldn't have. And it's one of those things you don't want to sleep forever after. It's Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
and I don't even remember if it was like the first or the second one I seen. But then I became a fan of them and watched.
They say that's from some town in Oklahoma, right?
Really?
Yep.
Well, like I said, that was just that thing. You watch it and then you try to go to sleep. And you're like, "Oh, it's just a movie. It's just a movie."
Yeah.
But like every other movie or every other monster, you're like, you want to go to sleep to be safe and be like,
Yeah.
be over it. But that monster, that's when So I remember going like 2 days without sleeping at like 7, and my mom's like, "You got to go to sleep. Like you got to sit here and watch me. And if something happens, you have to wake me up. If I start jerking around, you wake me up."
Yep. Wake me up.
I never had like a nightmare and I woke up and I'm like, "You didn't wake me up."
Yeah.
You lied. All right. So that's my 5.
Stevie says, "What's up, fellas?"
What's up, buddy?
And Chase Douglas Willard says, "What up, Casey?"
What's up, Chase? What's your I might be live on mine again. It
I
could
think you
happen.
are.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
Yeah, I am. God dang it.
Oh well.
Whatever. Yeah, but that one was one that always got me. So what's your top 5 scary
Yeah,
movies?
I had to.
And I won't make fun of yours like you did all of mine.
I had to do some ciphering and trying to think back so many years ago of the first horror movie that I watched. And once again, like everybody else, I was way too young to be watching it.
I think that's how it kind of works, right?
And
We can start the show now.
the first one was actually number 5 is Christine,
Okay. Which is a good one because I
Stephen
didn't
King.
want to drive after that one.
and then Nightmare on Elm Street 2,
Which
and then Halloween.
see, and I was always turned on by that one because something about her just did it for me.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Oh, I did reference that wrong earlier.
What?
I was talking about the Halloween guy. He had a fucking issue too. I mean, he wanted to
Okay.
fuck his sister.
Okay, yeah.
So he was probably a closet homosexual.
Why? He wants to do his sister. That's not homosexual.
Yeah, but then he was one killing. Halloween guy didn't kill people having sex, right? Michael
No, he was
Myers.
just trying to kill his family.
yeah,
yeah.
I just wanted to.
Michael Myers is Halloween. Jason is
And
Friday the
you
13th.
you should be able to understand that.
Yeah, Jason was out of the lake.
So he hated swimming,
Yeah,
fish,
okay.
people having sex.
I don't know why that automatically leads to gay.
I'm just saying because he was probably gay, so that's the reason why he hated it.
I don't know why you go right there, but what's your number 2?
The number 2 is Saw 5.
Okay, that was probably the most gruesome
Because
one.
that was really
They're all
creepy.
I don't know, what was the one where he throws her down in the pit of needles? Is that the
Yeah.
second one? That is probably the one that would be like my ultimate fear of all the things that happen. Like,
So what if you like? Okay, sorry. Let's. Get
what if what?
No, let's get it and finish.
Okay.
And then Amityville Horror.
Okay, the original
That's,
one.
yeah, that's the one that scared me the most when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But
Now you watch it back, and those ones aren't made. I mean, in those days they were made good, but so what?
well, it was based on a true story. Because
Yeah.
there was some devil
Any of those
worship
kind of real
involved,
shit.
and there was some seance going on in the garage, and it moved over to the house.
I don't like
Because
watching
it was
any
too,
of that kind of shit.
oh, it's super creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I
Because
hated
it was too cold in the garage to be doing seances in there, so they did it in the house where they fucking live.
Yeah. Dumb.
I hated Jack Nicholas or Nicholson or whatever his name is forever.
In the hotel one.
Yeah, because of The Shining. So
Yeah.
he was in some other movies, and then I'm like, that guy freaking creeps me out when he breaks through that door. Like that scene is a top scene. What's yours, buddy?
My number.
And what was your? You were gonna
Oh,
ask
I was
us
gonna
something.
say like so.
What would I
Horror
rather?
movies or whatever real life situation. What would be the scariest way to be killed for you?
I honestly, burning or drowning, I think would probably be.
Let's say somebody's gonna kill you.
I mean, or like them doing. Like I seen a movie where they keep them alive and they fucking start like and keep them pumped up and start cutting shit off of them.
Yeah.
But you can feel it. That would be fucking dismemberment while being kept alive would be pretty far up there. But
You want to know what one of my favorite movie scenes of killing somebody is? It's on that one when it's got the dude Gerard Butler where the guy had killed his family. What is that called?
I don't know.
Where he goes to the prison and he's still killing everybody, you know?
It has the what's
Has
his name
Jamie
in it?
Foxx in
Yeah,
it?
I know what you're talking.
Well, when he fucking pumps that guy full of drugs and puts some mirrors of him, cuts his eyelids out so he has to watch him kill him, that's badass.
Yeah.
I can't remember
So what's yours?
Okay, my number 5 would be It, the original It.
Okay.
I kind of just did a blanket all the 80s.
Did you watch the newer?
Yes.
He's
Yeah. 80s movies, man. I would say favorite. I would just like if I could watch any kind of campy bullshit, I don't care what it is. I watch them out of season. I just like 80. You know me. The 80s
Okay.
are my favorite. Number 3 would be The Mist.
You didn't tell me 4.
That was number 4. Number 4 was the 80s.
Oh,
Number-
the 80s is the movie.
no movies from the 80s. Scary.
You can't. You gave a whole genre to number 4,
Yes, I can do that if I want to.
but it is from the 80s.
It is from the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your number 3?
Number 3 would be The Mist, which
Okay.
is a Stephen King book. Number 2 would be Fire in the Sky. Because
Yeah.
pretty much that was real. That fucking scared me to death. One of the scariest scenes of it is when after he's been abducted and he's in that thing, the spaceship, and he's got that
So what scares you more, aliens or
aliens for sure.
than God, like death?
Because
Like,
I think that could be true. You know?
you don't. Okay. Okay.
And my number 1, I've said it a bunch of times. It's not even a fucking scary movie. It's a movie that fucked me up the most when I was a kid, and it's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That movie fucked me up so
Just those
bad.
guys.
The heart ripping
ripping-
out and the fucking snakes like that.
And those are all. If you go watch them now, it's really bad.
I watched it
done,
with my
but
kids. I said,
yeah.
"Hey, girls, do you want to watch the scariest movie Dad ever watched when he was a kid?"
Trying to traumatize them.
They were like, they didn't like their heart ripping out thing, but the rest of it,
They're just laughing.
they
at
liked
them.
Data. They thought he was cool.
Yeah.
And, the girl, never noticed how annoying that girl was. How much she screamed and everything. And I had to look
I
at
think
her up.
all 80s chicks do that.
She's
man.
married to Steven Spielberg. That was his wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
All
got
right.
him all.
yeah. Stevie said if it involves kids or getting killed or kidnapped, that's a hard pass for me.
Well, give us your at least number one, or give us one of yours, buddy. But I also had you guys, it's Halloween time, and it always reminds me of, and for some people, it's like a different memory of Halloween. And I had some ones where like some people like really did scare me real young or whatever. But I remember I was like 11 or 12, and we went over to a house, and it was like a, I don't know, fairly windy night or whatever, a pretty windy night.
Mm-hmm.
But like the mom was dressed as like a ghost
Okay.
with like the sheet over, and obviously didn't have much on else under it, and had like
Okay.
they were the people that set the candy dish on the porch, and
Supposed to take one. But
yeah,
you
take one or take a handful, or
Yeah.
leave some for somebody else or whatever. And I remember her coming out. We were walking up, and to change it, or she'd been over to pick it up, and the wind came up, and that thing blew up over, and she was wearing the panties. But then like I remember we get to seeing like boobies and stuff, and she was like that young mom,
Wow.
and you're just like, oh shit, that just happened, And
Yeah.
I remember she's like pulls you down and like goes in the house, and I remember I dated her daughter like before this and sometimes after, and I remember she obviously knew that we seen it or something, because it would be that real awkward, but she was that fairly hot mom, but it didn't matter because you were 11 or 12 and got to see boobies, and even though they were like it's gonna be hard to. They were like the bent over,
That's the best.
saggy mom. I know, but that's what I said. And that's what it was like. It came up over her. It was like, and she was like going to fix it, and then like the boobies as she's pulling it down. And,
Did you get erect?
oh yeah, I'm sure I went that night too.
Yeah,
That was
there was wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
and especially 12 for sure.
Yeah.
11, I maybe.
At that age, what you do is you need to hide it, and you put it in your waistband.
I did. I
Go
hit
put
it. I
in.
hit it and went and stood outside of her window, and I was quiet like no. Not really a joke. Bad. Never a peeping Tom.
Never a peeping Tom, because that's creepy.
Do you have any memory story that stick in your mind, Skin Man?
Oh, something that's weird and scary and stuff.
Or anything, yeah. A Halloween story, something when the season rolls around, it makes you think about. I think about Mrs. King's boobs.
Mrs. King, okay.
Right.
I don't even know if I think it was her last name.
I was 11 years old
Ooh,
And-
that was a good time.
When I was laying in my bed, and then it was kind of facing the door, and then right beside the door there was a hall tree that hung on the wall, and I had hats and clothes and stuff on top of that. And
That
I
answers
would,
what a hall tree is. It's one of the okay.
Okay.
Now I'm with you.
We're good.
Well, it's not like an actual tree off of the floor,
Nope,
but
get
it's,
it. Hangs on the wall. It's got little hooks on each side of it that goes down. I'm with you.
Yeah, and it would, in the dark, it would make weird. I was trying to see what kind of pictures I could make out of it, kind of like cloud pictures.
Okay, like folding it back and forth and.
No, I was just laying there looking at it.
Oh.
It's like you turn your head a little bit, and it looks like this, and this over here looks like a dog, and then that one over there looks kind of like a pork chop. But there was this because the door would go, you could see through the kitchen and into the dining room.
Okay.
And I saw this faint red go past the door in the dining room.
Okay.
And I thought it was Mom, so I said her name, and then I heard her over in the bathroom. And she's like, "What's going on?" It's like, "Oh, nothing. I thought you were in the living room." Like, "Well, why would you think I was in the living room?" It's like, "Well, I thought I saw you in your bathrobe going in the living room." And she said, "Oh, that was probably Mom, because she used to always drink a cup of coffee before she went to bed." Makes no sense to this day. But why would you drink coffee right before you go to bed?
Some people need caffeine to sleep.
Yeah.
But she died before I was born.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I saw Grandma's ghost going into the living room.
But you had been squinting and making different shapes out of something, so you could have,
Right.
So how long, you talked to somebody after, and then that's when you kind of realized who you thought it was, or right when you seen it, did you maybe kind of?
I had no idea.
Okay.
It's like I thought it was Mom because she had a red bathroom.
All right.
And
And then nothing. All right.
Right.
Huh. Did you ever have any other sightings of her after that, or just that time?
Not of her. I don't know who it was.
But you had some others?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and it wasn't
Is
just.
there anybody in the room now?
Not that I can tell.
Oh my god. What is that? A bucket man?
It's Bucket Skid Man. Oh no.
It's just Buckethead.
And this was on Halloween?
No,
Okay.
But was it around the time, or that's just
I
a,
have no idea what time of year.
all right? Just a scary story that
I never had any creepy Halloween things, and I really don't have any good memories of Halloween.
you don't. You
I
don't,
mean, nothing that like stands out in my mind.
not even like got to go trick or treating with
I
the
remember-
hot chicken town.
I remember
and-
trick or treating one time in Conway, and it was cold as fucking snowing. That's the only thing.
I remember a really snowy one.
It was probably when we were probably like 10 or 11 or something like that. So
One of my favorite ones was probably like Blaze's first year that she actually got to go really trick or treating. Amy worked second shift, and I had to take her, and so it was just me and her going around, and the blast she had. And
yeah,
she got so tired but wanted to keep going, so I'm just carrying her to every house. But that was pretty cool.
I only really got to take my kids trick or treating just one time, and it was when we lived in Conway for that short period of time, and then
Uh-huh.
I was gone for every other Halloween, so I never did really get to do it.
All right. Well, if you got any other scary movies, let us know after show.
Oh,
Whatever.
Stevie did say, Blair Witch Project, tripping on motion sickness pills in the end scene where the dude was in the corner when they was in the basement. I looked up and that dude was in every corner of my room.
Yeah, I watched that movie.
That was pretty scary.
Yeah, and it was just the way it was filmed. It was, the you react to the person you're being,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that was where POV porn came about. They're like, man, you can see it from this angle.
So what do you think that's like for the chick? Like, where is he wearing that? Is it on his shoulder or is it on his head?
What? The
Is he, like, wearing a
porn?
GoPro?
Did you go right to
A
that?
GoPro?
Probably. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do you think?
Maybe a lot of them seem like a chest one almost.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to
Interesting.
do some research before next show.
They don't ever show him. It's just her.
No.
It's POV.
POV.
Yeah.
Point of view.
I want her point of view. Him with the
I know
fucking
you do.
GoPro.
I know you do.
He's like, yeah.
Hold on a second. I didn't have that ready.
Why am I gay?
Why am I gay? I don't know. It's just all this
Trust me, you've said way more gay stuff on this show than I.
Oh, I'm sure I have. I own it. You're hurt by it. That's why that one's funny.
Well,
I can
like
have-
Jason. I don't. It fucking makes me mad.
Well, I know you're gonna come hacking me.
Yeah. Just wait.
Dude,
Wait,
go
you-
get in your
we-
car. I'll go kick your window off, and you'll fucking
Do not fuck with
kick
my
your
PT
mirror
Cruiser.
off, and you're trying to drive off my driveway is big enough ledge to bottom that thing
Yeah.
out on.
Speaking of PT Cruiser, I had to go to Dodge City last week, and I was meeting up with one of our QC guys, and he's actually our only guy. And he goes, "What, you didn't drive the PT Cruiser?" I said, "Fuck no, man."
All right. I want to thank our guest last week, and then we're going to do some news and then talk about some upcoming stuff. But we didn't get to it at the top of the show. Gus Glasser was on last week. That was I had a blast. The dude was it was a good time. He was a cool dude. He was funny. And like I said, I had a good time. And we didn't get the views we wanted and all that out of certain things, but we will. And he's willing to come back on. That's what's even cooler.
Yeah,
So we got to.
it'd be fun to do music with him.
Yeah, that's why I said he'll have all of his music ready. I mean, he was, I don't know where he stands in the world of all things, but I mean, as far as following goes and all that, he was our biggest guest. I mean,
Yeah.
So it's just cool.
Super cool guy.
And then because of that, we got the 10 for 10 guys reaching out, like, you guys are getting rock stars on there. We want to come back on, man.
Yeah.
And they've been fucking kicking ass. I've been seeing on their social media, they're getting thousands of downloads on their stuff. They've been, they were in some, it's a local band thing, but they were, I think out of 25, they had moved up to number 8
Awesome.
of the, voting. So I got on and voted for them. And so good things happening. We're looking for more guests all the time. We'll get some of the old guys back on. And so that was a blast. So
Yes.
10 for 10 coming up. I think I'm going to be on Three Wheel Bicycle podcast, possibly coming up. You guys are welcome. I don't know what night. They do it on a different night. So we'll have to come over or call together or something like that. I could probably have you guys, because I'll do it here. We could three-way, but this time
Ooh.
just on the phone.
Yeah.
and then you guys
The
can
three-way
talk.
you do with dudes is normally different than
I understand. I get it.
I think you're mispronouncing conference call.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Conference call.
Yeah.
You're correct. We'll do a conference
He's
call.
just used to doing three-ways with guys.
Yeah, if it's two dudes involved, it's
Yeah.
a three-way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
We want to talk about Gus Glasser's sponsor that he has now
Oh,
on
yeah.
Instagram. And
So-
I suggested that we do it, but Casey didn't want to do it.
well, it's just weird because I know, like, you basically what the show we were just talking about on Seinfeld, where they do it.
Mhm.
Literally, you would get down the street and be like, "Did it?
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out." You know.
Yeah.
So everybody's heard of No Shave November.
Yes.
And I think there's also another one that's, I don't remember. There was another fairly big one, but this was, what's this new one that Gus is sponsoring and we're going to sign
Gus
up
is
for?
sponsoring, and there's an app you can download it. It's called No Nut November,
Okay.
and basically it's where you don't have.
Coitus or
I guess you could.
self-coitus.
I guess you could have it as long as you don't
Finish.
get the
Yeah.
end result.
Yeah.
But
What's the app
basically,
called?
No Nut November is
Okay.
the app. We could all sign up for it, and then as soon as you did that, it'd be just like on Seinfeld. Honesty is the best policy.
Well, we know I'm honest because
Oh,
I
I'm
put,
out. I'm not gonna.
What? That's not what he says.
participate
Oh,
at all.
we are on the honor system here. So as soon as you would do that, you would send a notification. I
well,
did
it would
it,
be
and
fun
then
if you
we would
joined it
know.
at least because then you would, whether it's self or
I don't know
help.
if you have to tell
Yeah,
what you did.
isn't today the November 1st?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's too late.
Well, I know, but we're starting now.
Yeah.
But have you since you've been at the show?
It's too late.
Since we've been at the show?
You've been facing that way. You have no idea what I'm doing back here.
I did see him moving around back there. but I didn't know
Congratulations.
what- Yeah.
I went twice, so I'm out as well.
Come over here. I'm out.
So I guess we're out on that.
Elaine got all worked up from RFK. Remember on the show?
And went and took care of herself.
Yeah. So I guess we're not going to do it. So if anybody wants to get in on this,
That's what I said. I
I would
would.
make
I would
it easier,
win.
so. You would win. I would.
I would win.
My wife is too rapey to me. I couldn't get away with it.
Well, and you're too rapey to
Really?
yourself.
That's the complaint.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, a
Sometimes,
good. I mean, but not when you're playing a competition to
Yeah.
not do it.
like
You
if
know, like
I,
De La Hoya wouldn't have love with his wife while he was
A lot of
training
guys
for a
don't.
fight
A lot
because
of
it
guys
takes like a lot of stuff out of your legs.
I think men don't do it during training camp, and women do it a lot because they build the test from that. I
Okay.
don't understand quite how it works. And if my wife knew that we were in a competition for me not to do that, she would be.
She would sabotage that.
Yeah,
hell
she would
out of
be
it.
like all over me.
I came up with a new name
So
for
we're
it.
doing the competition, and
Well, you already said you're out.
Yeah.
no, we're gonna do it because that way, Casey can get or TJ can get his.
Well, he'll get it regardless.
Yeah. Okay. What do you got a new name for what?
I got a new name for a boner.
Rocket ship.
Okay. There's the traditional like boner and like,
What's that movie where the guy said Varsity Blues where he's saying all the
All
different
of-
boner names?
well, this is a flesh stand.
Flesh stand?
Yeah.
Kind of like a nightstand?
But yeah, just a flesh stand. Your flesh stands, I don't,
Okay.
because somebody said something out there and they said like a flange something and I heard out there and then I don't know why I just heard flesh stand
Okay.
and then that girl gave me a flesh stand,
Mine
How
looks
about
like
that?
a uncooked chicken leg.
See, and then if it got hard, it would be a flesh stand, right? That's what an uncooked chicken leg looks like.
I don't know why.
And why does your wiener look like an uncooked chicken leg?
Mind your business.
I did hear something that was kind of weird.
You need to lay off that little guy.
Yeah. They said I saw something that said white people age like ball sacks.
Shrivel up and get all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of rude, isn't it?
That's pretty true.
I mean, it's
Accurate if the shoe
Yeah,
fits.
I guess.
I'm not questioning the accuracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
Seems
hurt.
kind of racism, don't you think?
No.
No.
Like it's 100. That's opposite. That's literally the 100. That's a truth. That is I don't know.
Same as like black don't crack.
Yeah.
No,
if it's,
but that's-
if it's true, it's not racist.
Yeah. So some of the things that like people would say are associated would be considered.
Like
Yeah.
what? Tell us something that would be racist.
Like toward
yes.
which one?
Just something that you.
Here's a surprise for you. Rednecks like bonfires.
That's fact.
Yeah, that would fall into fact, I think, more than
Okay.
more than
Now
saying.
you tell us something that you would think would be that. people
Well,
would
like
think
if
would
you
be
went
racist.
to you went somewhere like a barbecue and like they had, just like Chinese food or something, you're like, oh, no fried chicken, or something like
But who
that.
would be there that you would think that would like that?
But that's what I'm saying. If you went to a barbecue,
Yeah, but who would you think that would be?
like
racist?
a barbecue.
I know, yeah. Like if me and Skin Man were at a barbecue and we had some friends with us.
Okay, barbecue in Atlanta.
Okay, like Atlanta over by Douglas.
Yeah, Atlanta, Kansas.
Okay, but like if me and Skin Man's friends were there,
Well, what friends?
I know, but
What kind of friends are you talking about?
I don't know. That's the reason why I'm trying to say what would make that racist.
Well, that's where I said against black people to start this.
Oh,
if we were at
black
a
people.
barbecue.
Okay,
I started off with that.
Leave it to our liberal to go.
But I
do the
said
racism.
something like that would be. I said that is racist.
You just said racist. You didn't say what kind of people though.
No, but you said name something that would be racist, and I
Yeah.
said
It could
against
be
black
racist
people.
to white people.
No, white
Asians,
people don't like
Mexicans.
fried chicken.
I know, but did he say black people?
I think
Yeah,
so.
man. I think you just implied it.
Pretty sure
I don't
it
know.
was implied. He didn't
Yeah.
Well,
come
if I
out
did,
and
I
say it,
apologize.
But he had his tap shoes and he was dancing around it.
Racism. Liberals do it the most. I think it was.
Eerie photos of ghosts, family portraits, children's toys, and notebooks with their schoolwork, among other personal items, were found in the walls of an 1800s Victorian home when the Anderson family moved to Maine in 2017.
Those Andersons, there are a lot of places.
They're
in their
everywhere.
stories, yeah.
It's the new Smith. Really.
Okay.
Whoa. So
Why are they doing homework? And no wonder. That's where my kids' homework ends up all the time. Oh, it's fucking stashed in the
No,
wall.
this was from the 1800s.
but
know.
why are they doing homework in the walls?
And who had homework in the fucking 1800s? Didn't kids have to go work?
And was that like where they played? Did you have to play with your toys inside the walls back in the 1800s, Skidman?
I know just as much about the story as you do.
Well, I just know you're a historian.
We
and like,
started the story, and now there's all these questions.
Okay,
okay, sorry, go ahead.
Casey always does that. Runs your stories.
Then came the unexplained noises, cold taps on the shoulders, footsteps in the attic, and things unexplicably moving around, homeowner Jeffrey Anderson told Fox News Digital.
Okay. Oh, this was digital, so like you couldn't even get Fox Team 4 out there, but that's cool.
The locals in Houghton, Maine told Anderson and his wife that their new home was always known as the haunted house. One woman told them she used to see children in a window.
I hear screams out of there all the time. I thought he was just beating her for years, but then I seen them both downstairs and the screams are still continuing. Either they got kids locked in the basement like this one guy, or I don't know.
Puts the Joe Dirt in the hole.
That one guy in Detroit, he had the kids locked in the basement. Cleveland. It was Cleveland. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Anderson's wife saw a woman standing in the window, and then there were other times she saw a man's face or a boy's face or a man-boy's face or a boy-man's
Boy-man's
face.
face.
We heard footsteps and loud things above us. Voices called my wife's name. We woke up in the morning and lights would be on. Cabinets were open and things were knocked over. Anderson's wife has heard tapping coming from the basement.
Creepy.
Who
Would
if they
you,
got tied up in the cellar?
if like you knew, like you heard that story, and then it was, what would it take, like for you to? First of all, I know people that would pay money to sleep in that house, but what would it take after just that story for you to sleep in the house for, say, a weekend? Friday, you go in Friday at 5, leave Thursday or Sunday at 5. A lot like the check-in for jail 48 hours thing goes.
I don't know.
With the right bottle of whiskey, I can sleep anywhere.
So what's your dollar amount? Nothing. Just a bottle of whiskey, a good bottle of whiskey. Well, enough whiskey to make sure you had whiskey the whole time.
What would be your choice of whiskey?
Oh, Jameson.
Okay.
Any particular Jameson or just the straight Jameson?
Original.
Okay.
Original Jameson. How much?
Oh, a handle.
A handle?
A handle will get you through the weekend.
Oh, I thought it was one night.
No, we got. He said like you go to jail, like
Friday
he
at
used to
5.
check
Friday
into
at
jail.
5 to Sunday at 5.
Was this your normal weekends when
That's
you
what
were
he said.
growing up?
He knows this. It's like he's done this before.
Just saying, I know people that have.
Yeah.
It's just a
That was a
traditional thing.
question.
That was a
Would you
question.
need- how much?
Any money? Or you just do it for the booze?
No, I do it for the booze.
Would one handle cover you from Friday to 5 to Sunday
You'd
to 5?
want
I'd
food.
have to pace myself.
You'd want food too, or would you just for booze bring your own food to get to
Oh,
the
I'd take it for real.
Okay.
Okay.
And you?
I don't know. I'd be kind of scared. I'd be so fucking.
And you had to do it by yourself.
Oh, by my. I don't have to bring my wife or anything because
Nope.
that'd make it worse.
Would
have,
it?
have to or get
'Cause-
to?
But you'd have somebody to be tough around, so I think it would help you.
I know because I think my wife would make me fucking
Work
scared.
you up, spook
Yeah,
you up.
she'd scare me more. If I was by myself, I could probably handle it better. Yeah.
Okay. No phone.
I'd no phone. I don't know. I would probably do it for free, I guess.
Would you?
Yeah.
Just I see. Like me, I'd want to make some money off this if I was doing it.
I mean, I guess if
It's not a
somebody's
place
gonna
I
pay me
would
$1 million,
enjoy. Well, no, I know.
Would I do it for $100? Yes. Would
Yeah.
I do it for?
But you do it for free.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think just because I don't love that shit. And I don't love.
When was the last time you were fucking scared? And not like scared for your kids, like you were scared because you saw something or something fucking scared you.
Oh, that was when the condom broke.
Nothing like
That was scary.
like something you're legit.
But not like almost wrecking type scare.
Yeah.
But like
like oh fuck, somebody out there or what was that?
I don't know. I think I did have one time. It's probably like a year or two ago. I opened up my old job, and it's a newer place, but like it was that, and I ended up figuring out what it was later. But the lights were off in the warehouse, and I walked by and in between this aisles, like a flash, and a pretty bright like thing kind of came in, and you're in a complete dark room, and yeah, and then it was like all kinds of noises and like. And it was a windy morning too, so and that's what ended up being the light was the fucking wind sucked in so hard that the garage door opened up a little bit and fucking shined some light into there from the big spotlight. And but even like that morning, like the door, and I knew I was the only one in the building because you'd hear somebody come in, but the door right behind me the wind was open, so it'd be
Sucked
like
it back.
Yeah, it would just like pop pop pop.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop. And like the front door is doing the because it's a metal building, so it all expands, and so I think I was a little spooked when that first happened. I was just like, "Who the fuck's there? Who's there?" Because I kind of even it wasn't even more ghost. Well, it was partially, but it was almost as much somebody broke in.
Yeah.
And like, are you catching somebody in there? So either way, I was equally shitting myself because I wasn't prepared for. If somebody came bum rushing me, or if I seen my dad fucking walk, whatever the fuck it was,
for sure.
I wasn't ready for it at 6:15 in the morning or whatever time.
Yeah.
So stop touching yourself. Now I know that's just my grandma from the grave.
Yeah.
Stop watching me do it, dirty old lady, fucking freak. Well, you're the fucking gross one watching
Yeah,
me.
I mean, yeah.
Before we don't get to it, because we missed it last week because I was preoccupied and I just didn't get ready for it. Pick 4. TJ pulled ahead another game over Steve last week. So that brings him up to 18 points. Steve at 15. Skin Man now at 9 or 10. And Casey at 10.
Double digits, baby.
So this week's picks. Vikings and Falcons.
So they both have new quarterbacks this week.
Yep, that's why I did it.
I
All these
guess I'll
games
still
are
go with
kind
the
of that.
Vikings because they're still a better team.
Okay. Good man.
Vikings.
Okay. And that was also who Steve picked. And I'm going to roll with the Falcons.
Okay.
It's not worked for me so far,
Well,
but
eventually it will.
if it starts, then I got a chance.
Yep.
The Bears at the Saints, or at Who Dat?
Who dat?
Who Dat at? Okay.
There's
I don't even know who's starting for the Bears. He went with
What's
this
his name is? The arm wrestling dudes.
Badgett.
Yeah.
I didn't know if what's his name was back yet
I
or.
don't think so.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Bears. The not Redskins at the Patriots. And the
Redskins. Oh my God, did I just say that? Sorry.
That's why I said not Redskins.
So the Caucasians and who?
It's the Washington Commanders at the New England Patriots. Or as a lot of people, me, call them the Patriots. Or now what a lot of people are calling Michigan.
Let's go Pats.
Okay, how about your Pats? Pats on Pats on Pats. Oh, that's from a different show, sorry. And Steve also went with the Pats. And I am also going to go with the Skins. And the last game, the Bucks at the Texans. These are all crap games. That's the purpose of it.
Bucks.
Texas.
And Steve went with Texas, and I'm going to go with Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. So, and then fantasy, I don't even know where we're at. I think some people are still paying attention. I have more people paying attention to this one than paying attention to the other one that I run that's actually for money at work.
Okay.
There's like 4 people that I've turned to auto, but at this point, if they win, I'm just going to take their money. I played Skin Man this week. Skin Man, after bursting out to 2-0, undefeated, coming in here and rubbing our faces in it, telling us we suck, we don't know nothing about football.
Dominating.
That was nuts.
Okay, none of those were true. He has now dropped 6 in a row, poor guy. And I switched him to auto this week. He is the first one in our league I switched to auto. I know he's been busy, so if ever he wants control of his team, he can have it back. He would have beat me if he would have just made a few adjustments. So,
Okay.
Well, I did make adjustments last week.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, I didn't think you did because you had a guy on IR and a guy that was out playing.
Well, those were the ones that I couldn't change
Oh, okay.
because I'd gotten to it too late.
All right. Well, then I'll give it back to you. I'm sorry. I thought you were busy and not doing it, so I apologize. That's my fault. And
I'm a procrastinator
okay.
by
Well, after the show,
by
if you
blood,
stay a minute,
really.
I'll help you find a guy or two to add, or if you need to do something to get your lineup set. After I went 0-3 to start, after 8 weeks, I'm 4-4. My son is 4-4, 6'2" and handsome. Amish Country is 4-4. Mr. Fancy Pants 3-5. Forever Young 2-6. Rock Chalk coming in at 7-1, dominating. I'm sorry, I'm going by division. He's winning the West. I'm tied for first. There's also 2 teams at 5-3, Victoria's Secret and El Dorado Gold, Steve and my lovely wife, Amy. And then Scrubs and Beyond, my lunch date today, Eric is 4-4.
You guys went to lunch and didn't invite me? Cool.
Sorry, I forget. I didn't know if you were working, or what you were doing today. I didn't know if you were,
Oh, it's okay.
It was kind of short notice if we would have went on Monday when he asked me, but since we set it up for Wednesday, it wasn't very short notice. But he had to pay me for a gig.
Oh.
So he came by and paid for me. Also, he has to take he's supposed to take clients out for lunch.
So you got a
And
free lunch too.
yeah.
Got paid and a free lunch.
Yeah, it worked awesome too because today was my first official day as full manager at my place of employment after
Seems like a lot more than 90 days.
July 10th to today.
That's 90 days?
Well, work days, I don't know.
90 work days? Not calendar days?
It wasn't 90 either.
I thought that was how long before that guy left.
December 31st was his retirement date,
Oh,
or originally.
so is he still there now?
October 31st was his retirement date.
Okay.
So yesterday,
Okay.
let's rewind where I said yesterday was his last day.
Okay.
So I took over today, just a normal day. It was
Okay.
overwhelming a
Yeah.
little bit for a minute. But anyways, I'm told I need to start leaving at least a couple times a week for lunch because I don't usually take lunch.
Yeah.
And it's the same routine I got into the old job. And we talked about this in one of my interviews and they're worried about me burning out.
Yeah, they just said,
So, but yesterday I took him to lunch for his last day, but the other company that we're a sister company, he's worked with 2 of the guys there for a bunch of years because
Mhm.
the old place he worked at, they did business with. They found out he was retired and they wanted to take him to lunch. He
Uh-huh.
said, well, Casey's already taken me. He'd never been to Fazoli's, but I took him to Fazoli's like a month ago for another guy's last
on
day.
Central in Thailand?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Pretty nice.
so he had never been there, and his bank's right across the street. He didn't know He's like, he's heard of them, but he hadn't been there, maybe, I don't know. So we went and he's like, okay. So rewind and I say, where do you want to go for your last day lunch? I'm taking you. This is on Friday. And he's like, oh, I think you know where I want to go. And I figured like Red Lobster or something. Like, I'll take you to Red Lobster. Where do you want to go? And he's like, oh no, you've already taken me there.
Fazoli's.
And I said, Fazoli's? And he said, yeah. So then that guy reached out.
What did he get?
This time he got the classic sampler.
Okay.
And he was freaking loved that, man. He talked about it for
Really?
an hour, man. He's like, dude, that's what I'm gonna be. That's my thing. Because last time he got a chicken fettuccine Alfredo. Because I just do the regular fettuccine,
Yeah.
And anyways, but so they met us over there. There was 3 of them and 2 of us, and I'm like, fuck, I was gonna pay, but I still will. And the guy's like, well, since there's 3 of us, we'll pay. I'm like, fuck yeah, I got free lunch 2 days in a row.
Sick.
Fazoli,
I got free. My wife took me to lunch today.
you paid,
She did.
but that's not really free lunch.
Why? It's her money with her own monies.
I mean, but you're married.
Yeah, but she paid with her money. Like we have separate bank accounts.
But you guys are married.
I know, but usually I pay. She paid. She took me to Chili's and we had.
Either way,
fish
though.
soup.
Okay.
No, that both cost you.
Yeah. She's probably gonna remind me that November tomorrow, for sure.
No, just tell her to listen and tell her you're
She
staying
won't. That'll just make her fucking
strong, and I'm gonna make it. And Skidman, did you like any other news stories? Did you want to do another one before we went out here?
There was something on.
So Flesh Stand isn't gonna stand.
I don't think so.
Then Conway got robbed in the Fury fight. My opinion, TJ didn't watch, but if you watched, that's up to you to agree or disagree. But he got knocked down. To me, he got outboxed. I mean, Ngannou or whatever Francis looked like a boxer. I mean, and the other guy looked like a fat sack. I mean, he's a good boxer, but if he just would train a little bit, I can't imagine how good he'd be.
In local news, Belle Plaine did get beat in their first fake playoff round by Smith Center.
What was the score? Did you see?
It was like it wasn't. I don't think they got 70. I think it was like 50 something. But I think everybody makes the playoffs now because even Hayesville was in. So I think you only play 8 games right now. Remember, it's always 9, and I think that 9th game is like technically the first round of the playoffs. So you could be whatever and make it in there. So we almost had a Belle Plaine Conway.
Did Conway win?
Yeah. So they got to win one more, and then they would play the Belle Plaine game. So they're playing.
Skidman, did you have a
Somebody
story?
they've already beat.
Yeah.
What you got?
A police officer mistaken for a stripper as he breaks up a wild party. Everyone started twerking.
Happens all the time. Where was this at, though? Officer Anderson.
They were looking to cop a feel and wound up feeling a cop. A
Ooh,
group of
that's a
randy
fun.
women were caught on camera mistaking a dashing police officer for a male stripper
He must
as
have
he
been handsome.
tried to shut down their rowdy party
He said
in
dashing.
Sydney, Australia.
Oh. Well, Australians, they get out of pocket.
Oh, dude, would you rather fight a drunk Aussie chick or a kangaroo?
Aussie chick.
Aussie chick.
Yeah. I did see a funny
Okay, drunk Florida chick or a kangaroo?
kangaroo, I guess. But I did see a funny Australian thing the other
Good
day.
answer.
I may have sent it to you. Did you see that where there's these 2 girls sitting there and she goes, "You're quite dense, aren't you?" And he goes, she's kind of a fat girl, and he's like, "Looking at you, you're quite dense." And so she swings on him, hits him. Actually, her friend swung on him and hits him, and he fucking just palms her and knocks her down. And then there was a third friend not in camera, and she attacks him, and he knocks her down. He's like, "Don't fucking hit me, fatty!" And she's laying on the ground.
That's not funny.
So
But in an
it's funny
equal,
because she's fat.
That's fucked up. In an equal world, though, it is only fair that he fights back. And we talked
I mean,
about
what are you
this
supposed to do?
in
Really?
road rage incident. I usually just like fucking hug him, but then you get that chick that does the headbutt shit, and that.
That would make me. If somebody headbutted me like a girl.
I told you that story. I broke up with that Megan Miller dude, and I freaking tried to break it
Megan
up.
Miller, dude.
Well, she had short hair. I don't know. She had a JJ at the time, whatever.
Okay.
But I went to tell her, and she like went to swing at me, and
This was at her house, right?
Yes.
And you had to tell her dad.
I was screaming for dad, but I grabbed her, and she started doing the side fucking headbutting thing, dude. And I'm turning my head. And she's, I was.
That would make me.
You
10
grab
out
her
of 10.
by her dirty pillows and pull in a twisting motion.
She didn't have very big pillows. I
Then
probably
you
could
hoof
have.
her in the cooter.
this chick was like a hockey chick, and she like fought like a dude. I'd seen her beat up chicks and dudes, so I knew.
Speaking of hockey, did you see that guy that got killed?
Uh-uh.
You didn't hear about that?
Pro hockey player?
It was not
Semi-
NHL, but yeah,
He
got-
semi-bruised. Was it a stick?
skates.
He died
Yeah,
on the ice.
on the ice. Yeah,
What the fuck?
it was in front of like 8,000 people, I guess.
I
But
didn't hear about it because all the shooters going on and all the fucking crazy shit, man.
he supposedly it was like it was weird. I watched it. Another guy like is checking or something, and he kind of throws his leg up in it and got him right in the neck and killed him. So they've
Gotta be
announced
getting gear to drop.
they are next year. It's going to be mandatory. I'm sure it'll go to the NHL too. But that guy that did it also was the most penalized player in that
So then,
league.
yeah, it would be like Ron Artest doing it. Or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So it's kind of hard. I mean, the guy supposedly didn't do it on purpose,
It was
but
Happy Gilmore.
it sure kind of looked like it, you know.
Yeah, you took your skate off?
Rick, you killed a guy with a
I was
trident.
the first guy to take my skate off and try to attack a referee or something. Well, we made it a whole hour and 5 minutes without talking about Israel, without talking about the shooter, without talking about
I don't
the
know anything about
fraud.
a
You don't know about the shooter
It's a little shot glass.
shooter.
in Maine?
I haven't heard
Really?
about it, no.
18 killed. The first night,
18 killed.
yeah, and 13 wounded. The first night it came out, they were covering it all over the news, and they were reporting it as 16 to 22 dead and 40 to 50 wounded.
Where was it at?
Something with an L, Maine.
East Coast.
Well, what was he doing? I mean, where were the people at?
A bowling alley and a bar.
Hmm.
He walked in, opened fire
He get
on.
fired from there or something?
No, they don't know he's from a town over. They finally he was on. It was a manhunt for this is crazy that I'm breaking news to you. I didn't want
I
to talk
haven't
about it.
really heard about it.
But he was on a manhunt for like 3 days. It was all kinds. They found his car, open, lights on. He had a boat. It was missing, so they figured he was on the water. And then they found him dead in some house.
What a pussy. Just fucking kill yourself.
He did,
I know, but kill yourself.
Yeah.
Just
and I honestly didn't do great. So that's the reason I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't. It was like supposedly that night was like a teen night at the bowling alley, and then it was like cornhole night at the bar.
he's probably been getting cornholed, and that was his problem.
It's hard to know. He was 40 years old, 38 to 40. I think he had one kid.
I have to do some research into this.
He had a name, and death. He had a name. And then in Colorado at an amusement park, they opened up and they found a guy that had killed himself that would have. He had tactical gear, like a ton of guns, ammo, IEDs, all kinds of shit in the woman's bathroom. And they'd opened up and found there he had killed himself with a note. He wrote on the door, "I'm not a killer." So I'm guessing that.
Technically, that's not true because he killed himself.
Well, but you're also a hero because you saved a
Saved him.
killer.
Yeah. So does that count as a kill?
I don't
If you kill
know.
yourself.
I don't know. Suicide, I don't know.
Hmm.
But so those are the two crazy ones. And you do know that there's a war going on between Israel and
Yeah, I do know
Palestine.
that.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know what the casualty number is on that one, but a lot of teens also there. So.
yeah.
And then election bullshit, and I don't even know what's going on there. I've kind of stayed away, and that's kind of been nice. I mean, with the horrible news, they haven't talked about politics. So,
Well,
other than the new Mike Johnson, the new rep is like the vanilla, but he's not. He's like the hardest.
I did see him. He's like at least
He's-
a nice talker.
Yeah, but he's the guy. Like, if you were raped and got pregnant, God wanted you to have that baby. and
Yeah, I did see that.
He wants
And he's from Louisiana, and he doesn't talk like a coon.
abortion on a. Well, no, because abortion.
What do
on-
we got? We got to get this
abortion on a
situated.
federal level. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's opposite. We almost would have rather that psycho Jordan that would have been in there because he couldn't have got nothing done because he can't. Because like you said, he's not a well-spoken, good talker.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people pull behind him. So
I did see. I was watching Rogan today.
Skidman's back to mechanicing. We didn't announce
Yeah,
that.
He's injury free now.
Turning wrenches. He can go lefty or righty now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's lefty loosey, righty tighty, or if it's frozen on there, you just go righty-tighty until it's loosey-loosey.
Yeah.
It's-
Use whatever you got.
that's the beauty of a
I've never
half-inch
heard
impact.
masturbation spoke of like that, but that is quite elegant.
So is there somebody at your shop whenever there's like a fucking stuck something or you need some major muscles? Who's the guy that you call in? You're like, hey, get
It's
over here,
usually a big
Bob.
hammer. It's usually a big hammer and a
Yeah, but there's got to be one tough motherfucker there. that you're
There's
like-
there's a 12-inch sledge.
but there's no like.
You
dude
don't
that-
go admit that. You got to be a real small dude.
There's not one guy
No.
because there's so many angry people that work there.
Like Big Bob, get over
It's
here and
like,
bust
give,
this.
give
bitch."
me that hammer. He's like, you stay the fuck away from my hammer.
Yeah.
And it's that or a cutting torch.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
heat that thing. Yeah, there's options.
I know that like if I'm working on something at the farm, my dad is still strong as fuck, and it's just like that he's got that, you know, that he's worked with his hands his whole life. No matter how fucking strong I've ever been, like my dad can fucking just do shit I cannot do. I don't know.
I bet your dad would have got out of that fucking
He'd have beat the
blazer.
fuck out of that Chinese dude. Yeah,
Even
Karate
at
Tom.
16, he would have got out of there.
Oh, Karate Tom. Yeah, he wasn't Karate Tom back then,
So
but
what?
yeah, he probably wasn't a pussy like I was at that moment in time. But he would have fucked.
I like how you prefaced it with that moment in time.
Yeah. Right now, we're too old to be. I mean,
I wouldn't.
I
I
don't
don't.
want
I act
nothing
like
to do
I
with
would. Besides you, I don't want to fight nobody.
I don't want to fight anybody but you either.
Yeah.
Why don't we fucking have a full show of us just fighting?
I've talked about this many times. Skidman, will you referee our fight?
Absolutely.
Okay. Someday.
We're gonna do like a. We'll do a.
It has to be
I'll let-
very short rounds.
I'll let
like
you
20
win.
seconds.
So we'll do like a wrestling round,
Okay.
a boxing round.
Okay.
Yeah. Gloves,
Karate round.
Gloves,
Strictly
headgear,
karate, yeah.
mouth guard.
We'll do
I don't know if I
headgear.
want to do that.
What?
I don't know if I want to punch in the face.
Your,
Just because I know
we
if
can
you,
do it like Island Boys, and we can do only
what,
body
like
shots.
kiss each other like those two
Body
fucking
shots.
monks do to each other. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
you know he's gonna isolate
Yeah.
that.
He won't.
The old queen.
You old queen. I saw something the other day. And it was like the Queen's Palace, and some dude was like, "Did you know fucking Freddie Mercury lives here?"
Queen.
Yeah. Idiot.
It might have been a joke.
I think he was pretty. It was like German. He's like, "Do you know the Queen lives here?" Oh yeah. I don't know. Skimman does better German or whatever the fuck.
No,
That
you nailed
was-
it. That
that
was
was
pretty good.
spot on,
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You
Oh
nailed it.
yeah.
All right, I had fun. I don't know. We may have 10 for 10 on next week. I've got a couple other people in the pipeline, but I need to go on the research again, just cold calling, get us some guests.
Unless we get backstage at AEW this weekend.
That's true. We might be doing something from there. So
You got the handle for this bitch?
the handle?
Yeah.
He's more like a dirt freak.
Yeah, I got what handle?
I don't know. I figured it had like a carrying handle.
I don't think so, but I'll just like carry it
Yeah.
probably. We'll have 2 cords hooked up. We'll have the batteries in. We
Yeah.
might have to bring a portable speaker, but I got a smaller one. We'll plan that off the air.
Okay.
How about that?
That sounds good.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
And I'll finish with this. Throughout my life, I've done alcohol and I've done marijuana. I'm a product of the 60s. And I can assure you, I've misbehaved far more on alcohol than I ever have on marijuana.
So just chill out. Drink a 7-Up, eat a moon pie, quit murdering people.
Peace.
Peace.
Just chill out. Have a moon pie.
Word around the office is that you got a fat cock.